I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful for all of you. I don't take it for granted. Is there anybody else here today grateful?
Yes.
If you want to be great, you got to learn how to be what?
Grateful.
Is there anybody here today grateful? Awesome. I'm grateful to God for the opportunity to be here. I'm thankful for my wife. We have been married now 21 years.
Wow.
21 years ago, I prayed for the perfect woman and I got it. I hope she got everything she wanted out of the deal. 21 years. 21 years. I'm going to do something I don't normally do at the beginning of a presentation. And if you're offended, I'm okay with it. Let's just bow our heads. Dear Father in heaven, be with us for these next few moments as we talk about an incredible business opportunity. Amen. Amen. We're here to talk about CBD. And CBD is exploding. It's popping. How do I know CBD is popping and it's exploding? The statistics are in our favor. Like nothing else we've ever touched before. Some of you don't know who I am. This is your first nationals. If it is, raise your hand. Awesome. I'll tell you who I am. Thank you for coming. But I came to my first nationals in New Orleans exactly 7 years and 4 months ago at the very same place. And I never thought I'd still be here.
Wow.
When I came into this business, we were selling voice over IP. It's like the Magic Jack. And I caught it at the last year of voice over IP. I caught it at the end. You know, like when the VCRs were going out, or Beta was going out, or Atari was going out. I came in on the last round of Atari in this business. And coming in on the last round of it, we still made $1 million. On the end, the very end of the end. I never caught anything at the beginning. Nothing. I mean, all of these things that the 5 weeks people talk about, the video phone, I didn't catch that at the beginning. You know, I didn't catch energy, you know, when it was like you can sell energy being deregulated. We didn't catch that at the beginning. Nothing that I can imagine. Remember when we were talking about voice, video streaming television?
Right.
We didn't catch that at the beginning. There's only one thing that I can think of in over 40 years that I didn't even catch my wife at the beginning. I caught her. There's only one thing in my entire life that I've caught at the beginning. I'm in trouble. The only thing I've ever caught at the beginning is CBD. We were here last year.
Right. 2 years ago.
That's okay, y'all will get excited as I get to the end. I try not to ramp up too early. So we were here almost a year or so ago, and Nelson Gerard talked about CBD. Boy, I was so wound up. I was like, because you know, I was trying to get excited about the next thing. And I didn't know the difference between CBD from ABC. And I'm a relatively bright guy. They showed me the pictures of CBD, and all I could think of was marijuana because I'm from the Bronx. And I'm like, how you gonna roll this out like it's something new? This is old. So I want you to understand why the world is going crazy about CBD. Why the world is going crazy about CBD. The reason they have projected this to be the greatest boom of anything in your lifetime. Wow. I didn't say the fastest selling drug. I didn't compare it to electronics. Short of nuclear weapons, this would be the hottest selling thing on the planet. Now, I'm going to prove that to you because I'm big on proving stuff up. The average drug company, when it advertises a new drug, it takes 12 years to get the drug to market. Takes 12 years to get a drug to market. The average cost to get a new drug to market is between $650 million to $2.6 billion. Takes them 12 years. The drug companies on average spend $30 billion a year to advertise their drugs. Of the $30 billion that they spend every year, $20 billion plus go to the doctors. The other $10 billion is for advertising and commercials. Everybody with me so far say yes?
Yes.
Right now, the worldwide sale of illegal drugs is in the neighborhood of $300 billion. The worldwide sale in what they call legal drugs is just over $1 trillion a year.
Wow.
Now, these numbers are not meaning anything, but in a minute, I'll sort of marry them up for you to tell you why everybody's going crazy about CBD. No money has been spent on advertising for CBD yet. Not a dime. No major pharmaceutical company has put their money behind CBD. And it's still selling like crazy. It is illegal at this point to do a CBD television commercial. Don't say you've seen one because you haven't. They try to put one on the Super Bowl, and these people were willing to spend close to $1 billion to put a CBD commercial on the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl said no. They were willing to pay triple what anybody else was willing to pay. You have not heard a CBD commercial on the radio. If you say you have, you're lying. You have not seen a CBD ad in any major newspaper, any major magazine. You have not seen it. Now, yes, you've seen articles, you've seen stories, but you have not seen an ad. The world is about to change. And it's changing right here while you're sitting here, right in front of your very eyes. And some of you will miss the miracle. Last week, CVS announced that they're going to be putting CBD in all of their stores. Whoa. And immediately, one day later, Walgreens comes out. I didn't say a week later, I didn't say a month later, the next day. I'm waiting for tomorrow. Walmart? Target? Do you know who was the first major chain to put CBD into their store? Anybody know?
Walmart.
Nope. Target. No, yes, Target. #1 store to put CBD in. They had it out for 1 week and they pulled it off the shelf. They were afraid of the backlash because too many people were thinking CBD. When they thought CBD, they thought marijuana, and they thought it might destroy their brand. They are kicking themselves right now. To be the leader in this industry is everything. So if there's no major advertising selling CBD, it's not on the television, it's not on radio, it's not any major periodical, then who's selling it?
We are.
Who's selling it? Somebody's grandma who's got arthritis in her knee told some other older ladies at the Y. They came back and told the people at the church. The people at the church called their families, and then it spread to the family reunion. They talked about it at the funeral. They talked about it at the wedding. They have never seen anything like this, bro. You ever had somebody die that you went to high school with or college, you ain't seen them in 35 years, and you find out that they died a week later or a day later and nobody posted it on the internet? Like, how does that spread in our community? Sister so-and-so, and you ain't lived in that state in 20 years, and you make it in time for the funeral. That's how CBD is spreading. So without any official marketing going on, we made well over $1 billion in a year's time. So the people who are used to doing this thing and calculating how much money could be made, they're sitting there blowing their brains and saying, what happens when a major pharmaceutical company puts $3 billion behind advertising? What happens when I'm running a television commercial 24 hours a day? What happens when I have major celebrities on TV saying I use CBD? Y'all get this? They are preparing themselves for an explosion like you have never seen. Now that whole $22 billion was based on major name brand companies coming in next year. Everything that they thought would happen has been accelerated by a year.
Wow.
Now they think $22 billion is a big understatement. Okay, stand by. Talking to myself. Anybody here like basketball? Yeah. What's your favorite team, bro?
Warriors.
Chicago? All right.
Warriors.
What about you?
Warriors.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right, hold on. I gotta find my team. This ain't right now. Sixers? No. What? Somebody said LA?
No.
You're right.
Miami Heat.
Now, I want to show you the power of CBD. All of us in this room in 1 second can get into an argument over our favorite team. But across the country, everybody can agree on CBD. There's no arguments about it. The scientific community is in agreement. Obviously, the pharmaceutical companies are in agreement. The stores like Macy's and Barney's and all of these people are going to be selling it. They're all in agreement. And by the time I'm finished with this presentation, your preacher will be in agreement. We have finally found something that we can all agree on. Now watch this. The NBA has been around since 1946. And even though we all can't agree on our favorite team, they still are worth $17 billion. What if all of us put all of our money behind one team?
Wow.
How much would the NBA be worth? We'd all show up. We buy all the paraphernalia. We'd be at all the games. We'd travel everywhere. I mean, it would be one big monster of a machine. And here we are, in 24 months, they estimated $22 billion. We'd be bigger than the NBA. Y'all get excited about LeBron James and all of his money. Do you know that we can fill this room with LeBron Jameses with the money that they're going to make over the next 24 months? And because CBD is grown by word of mouth, you don't have to be an electronics expert. You don't have to be a Facebook expert. You don't have to be a digital superstar. You just talk. All of y'all are good at that? Go to your church. Whoever gossips the most at the church, you know who she is. Or he is. Whoever he or she is. All you got to do is go to the person who gossips the most at the church, give them some of your CBD, tell them to rub it on whatever hurts, but don't tell nobody. You know who I learned that from, right? Jesus. Didn't you realize every time Jesus healed somebody, he said, listen, don't tell nobody. And that's how we all know about it. You got to learn this stuff from the Bible. Now, why are pharmaceuticals afraid of CBD?
Money, baby. Loss of revenue.
Loss of revenue, true. That's the main reason. But let's talk about some other reasons. I just told you it takes the average pharmaceutical company 12 years, up to $2.6 billion to introduce a new drug.
Right.
I know you don't know, so I'll tell you, but I asked the question so you can see you don't know. How many new drugs were introduced last year by the FDA? How many new drugs did they approve?
A lot.
21. 21 new drugs were approved. All of those people working in all those government agencies, all that money pushed around for 21 new drugs.
Wow.
Do you know your CBD will replace almost 100 drugs that are now being sold over the counter and through your doctor? That's scary stuff if I'm a major pharmaceutical company. So they've got one or two choices. Put all of their might behind trying to stop it, or get into the game. Because 21 of their products are going to go goodbye. Now, I don't know if anybody's been monitoring the news while you were here today. I know y'all missed it, but I didn't. I'm going to share the big news with you. Hang on. The current outgoing commissioner for the FDA, his name is Scott Gottlieb. And he's today in front of Congress. He was in front of Congress while you were in front of the early training sessions. And Senator Patrick Leahy, a Democrat from Vermont, asked him a question. He says he had concerns about the significant regulatory and enforcement uncertainty surrounding marketing CBD, which has raised several questions at hearings since industrial hemp and its derivatives were federally legalized under the Farm Act. This was Scott's response. He says, we're using enforcement discretion right now. They never used that term before. The commissioner says, I will take enforcement against CBD products that are on the market if manufacturers are making what I consider over-the-line claims. You and me and the senator didn't know what that meant either, so he asked them to be clear. This was his response. This is critical. If you don't remember anything else for this presentation or while you're here at Nationals, I want you to catch this. He says, but what constitutes an over-the-line claim? Gottlieb, in response, specified that people who are marketing CBD claiming that it can cure cancer or prevent Alzheimer's disease would be subject to enforcement action because they can mislead a patient into foregoing otherwise effective therapy. He goes on to say this, but there are products on the market right now that, given our enforcement priorities and our limited resources, we haven't taken action against. He says that's not an invitation for people to continue marketing these products. We're concerned about it. We've heard Congress and we're loud and clear in our response. So what does that mean? They are recognizing that people are going to start taking their regular drugs. Hospitals are counting on you to take those drugs. Pharmaceutical companies are relying on you to take those drugs. They've invested $2.6 billion. Now, I've seen a commercial on television about a purple pill. Y'all stop making, I didn't say a blue pill, I said a purple pill. I saw your faces. So check it out. On this commercial with the purple pill, they got these two people who look like they should be like centerfold models, right? The guy is in the prime of his fitness, and he and this lady are running in a field of, like, it looks like wheatgrass, right? I mean, the grass is like up to their chest. The music is playing and they're running. It was like one of those Mary Poppins kind of deal. And the camera stands wide, right? And when the camera stands wide, all you see is grass. 2 minutes later, they're on a swing. I don't know where the swing set came from, but they're on a swing now, and he's pushing her, and the voiceover is saying things like, if you got acid reflux, you should take it. Make sure you consult your doctor first. Right. People are so happy that they're feeling better about it. And right before the commercial ends, like right between her third and fourth swing, the voiceover comes on. And the voiceover guy starts to say things like, may cause thoughts of suicide. May cause blood in your urine. May cause kidney failure, lung failure. may cause sexual dysfunction. I'm like, yo, whatever it is that I would get by not getting the pill, I'll take that. I'm like, acid reflux versus suicide. Give me reflux, man. You guys know people who have 20 pills of medicines that they take on the shelf.
Yeah.
And if you're careful and you listen to them, they're almost bragging about the number of pills they take.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is go to one of those bingo places, right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, girl, I take 9 pills. And the other one will be like, I take 17 pills. And they start to say what the pills are for. The reason they're taking so many pills is every pill that they take has a side effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they may only have 1 ailment or 2 ailments, but because of all the other side effects, they now need the 20 other pills.
Yeah. Yes.
One of the things about CBD that makes it powerful is there are no known side effects. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time and tell you about all of the different things that CBD has said to be helpful for, and I'm not going to preach to you about the intercannabinoid system. Now, I'm going to leave that for Sunday's training.
Come on.
But what I want to tell you is this. There are a lot of people who take CBD for one thing, and it fixes 12 other things.
All right.
You took it for a headache, and now you're all calm and cool. Your women problems are gone, right? You feel more sexually involved. You can focus about what you got to do tomorrow. You got more energy, and you're losing weight. So now you don't need the 17 other pills. This is why the whole world is on edge about CBD. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I boring y'all?
No.
There used to be a lot of confusion between hemp and marijuana. Can anybody here look at a hemp plant versus a marijuana leaf, let me not say plant, but leaf, and tell the difference? Anybody?
No.
Right, because if you said yes, you'd be lying. They look exactly the same.
Yes.
The only difference between the 2 leaves are one has more THC and the other one has less. That's why people were confused. The confusion is now over. It's game on. My granny now knows the difference. Hemp and marijuana are cousins. They are the same species. Same what? Species. And people, they were acting like they didn't know the difference between species. If I put a chihuahua up here and a pit bull up here, they are the same what? Species. One I will likely hug and rub, and the other one I'm running. Same species, not the same thing. Are you with me? Awesome. I don't really need to spend a lot of time on this, do I? No. All right. But there's no more confusion. Hemp is, because of that Hemp Act, every farmer in the world is now getting into the hemp game. That will drive the prices down. In Canada right now, it is legal for you to grow marijuana. In DC right now, you can grow your own marijuana. California, you can grow your own marijuana. And marijuana was trying to kick open the door for hemp. But now the reverse is true. Hemp jumped in front of marijuana. Last year, illegal marijuana sales was $170 billion. Hemp CBD will pass marijuana like so fast your head will spin. Because they can grow the same plant and use the plant for textiles. They can use it for paint additives. They can use it for clothes and roads, feed the animals. They can turn it into the gasoline that you put into your tank. So all of the farmers are going to grow it, but 17 or 18 different industries are going to come running for the derivatives of the plant. That's going to keep driving the prices down, and you're going to see drug after drug leave the drugstore. I'm so disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself because, and if Nelson Gerard is here, I owe him an apology. I really do. Because I just never thought that we would be so blessed to be at the beginning of the beginning. You know, Ian? Yes, sir. We at the beginning of the beginning. Yes, sir. We left out of here the last time in New Orleans, and across the street, there was a place that had CBD parking. Yes. Remember that?
Yes.
And so I came out of the Nationals and I saw the sign that said CBD parking, and I said, must be a sign. But Mr. Rhodes, I didn't act on my faith. I didn't work as hard as I could have, but I will now.
Yeah, that's right.
The Bible says that I will restore the years that the locusts have stolen. That's Joel 2:25 for the preachers in the room. Now, I don't know about y'all pastors. I ain't gonna talk about mine because you probably watching. But a lot of people had issues with this last year because CBD and the Bible. Right? It was like, you can't call yourself a Christian and selling CBD, but that's like marijuana. I thought that until I read the Bible.
All right now.
Now, there's a whole lot of verses that talk about CBD in the Bible, but I'm just going to go to one of the main ones because it came out of God's mouth. Didn't come out the prophet's mouth. Didn't come out this guy. That God spoke these words.
My God.
In Exodus chapter 30, verses 22 and 23, God tells Moses, I want you to put together a special ointment. And I want you to use this ointment to bless the people, to anoint the priests, bless the people. It's going to consecrate them and also heal them. He gives them a list of ingredients and tells them how to mix the ingredients together. If you read the verse, it tells them how much of each ingredient. One of the largest ingredients is something called sweet calamus. The reason it was called sweet is because it let off a good smell, a good aroma. It's called sweet calamus. Now the word calamus in Hebrew is canubis.
Come on now. Come on now.
Canubis in English is what? Yes. Woo!
There it is.
So I had a preacher, he asked me about my CBD. I just gave him the Bible verse, it was a wrap. This is powerful stuff. This is the reason that your granny was using her arthritis medicine,
That's right. That's
but
right.
afraid to take your CBD.
That's right.
Right.
What your grandma didn't know is that her arthritis medicine has acetaminophen in it, and is causing all of her other ailments to go wild. If you don't know, you don't know. Bible's a powerful tool, man. Powerful tool. All right. Coca-Cola and CBD.
Come on now.
Coca-Cola was one of the first Fortune 500 companies to announce that they were thinking about going into the CBD market. While they were thinking about it, CVS was about it. While they were thinking about it, Walgreens was about it. While they were thinking about it, Oxygen was about it. So what Coca-Cola has realized is you now know that when you drink soda, it's going to cause your diabetes to go wild. What Coca-Cola is realizing is people are becoming more and more health conscious. There is more sugar in one can of Coca-Cola than your body can absorb in 2 months. And you wonder why you diabetic? People are waking up. The days of being ignorant when we are surrounded by internet is now unexcusable.
Right, that's right.
You are choosing to be sick. When you eat cheese and other things and eat meat, when you see what they do to these animals, you choosing to be sick. And how are you going to choose to be sick and then pray and ask God to make you well? Foolish. How do you choose to be sick and then say you don't have insurance? Foolish. How do you choose to be sick and never go to the gym, never walk, never take the stairs? At least take the escalator. Fool me, man. I see people go to the gym and fight for the closest parking spot. Foolish. But one of the things that does work in our favor is people will not change. They would rather take a supplement, a pill, a vitamin, a lotion. They even say a magic word than change. So if they're not going to change, Coca-Cola says, listen, you're not going to change? I got something for you. We already got you hooked on our brand. What do you think was in the first Coca-Cola? They familiar with the plant. And now they're going to use the legal part of it, and they're going to create $1 trillion business. But guess who got in first? We did. We got a CBD drink, and it works. For all of y'all who are trying to stay focused, it works. If you're a school teacher, you're a student, half of y'all are on some sort of online school. Right? Half of y'all are driving an Uber or a Lyft or a bus or a truck. Or you chasing kids all day. You need it.
That's right.
And some of y'all got a 20-hour drive. When you leave here, you're going to go get 5-hour energy. Now let me tell you the bad part about it. Yeah, it'll give you energy for 5 hours, but it'll suck your energy for the next 5 days. You'll be unfocused for the next 5 days. You'll be groggy for the next 5 days. Won't be able to get up for the next 5 days. It sucks all of the good stuff out of you. We got something that won't do that to you. But you'll spend your money elsewhere. All right. I don't need to really talk about CBS, right? Everybody knows CBS decided that they were going to get in front of y'all. Now, the only thing about CBS is they're not selling any oral applications of CBD yet.
Right.
We got time, Ian. We got a week. Right now at CBS, they're selling creams, lotions, sprays, bath bombs, all of that.
And patches.
All kind of stuff. They're not selling anything ingestible yet. They want to wait. They want to wait and see what happens. They want to sort of test the waters. And had we known, we would have ran harder, but now we got time. Not much. Not much. Sis, I thought we had 2 years before the big players got in. They have ruined the curve. That is the curve. That is the curve of a new product. That is the curve that every new product goes through. 2.5% of the masses are early innovators. They're the innovators. They want to start something new. Right? That was like some of our competitors that were in CBD 12 years ago when it was completely illegal. Right? They were there. And then we have early adopters. 13.5% of average of people who get involved are early adopters. Last year, when we were here, we were early adopters. Last year. There is something called the chasm or the chasm. It is between the early adopters and the early majority. You see that up there on the screen? So Mr. Henry, look right here. This is CBS here, but they didn't expect CBS to come in until here. They didn't expect Walgreens to get started until here. Normally when people that look like you and I get involved, we get involved here. We get involved when it's on every television commercial, every radio commercial, every preacher is using it, and people are almost dropping it on the street like the breadcrumbs from Hansel and Gretel. That's when we get involved. The fact that CBD and CVS have come together and merged here is going to push all of these up to here. It's like nothing they've ever seen. They've never seen this before. They never saw it with electronic cars. They never even seen it with people using the internet or laptops or cell phones or televisions or VCR. They have never seen anything grow as fast as this with no marketing. I wanted to treat, when I leave this arena, when I go home, I'm going to treat this convention like you just told me about CBD. I can't treat it like I'm already in this company. Because if I do that, I won't value the opportunity. I've got to treat it like I just heard about it. We always do that when we find out about something new. We're excited. Remember when you first heard about the gospel? Real excited? Carried your Bible all the time? Knew all the verses? Can't find your Bible now. All I'm telling you is, you got to get rebaptized. You got to leave here on fire. Because I'm promising you, this room right here, we can triple the company of its biggest size it's ever been. When I went to Nationals in Anaheim, my team, 5,000 people of my team showed up. That's more than all of y'all that are here now. That was just my team. That was a quarter of my team. It's going to be bigger than it's ever been. Everybody here has a chance to be SVP and Platinum. I'm just talking about in this room. Oh, I was playing with it before. Not anymore. God has given us one more shot. One more chance. Now, y'all still with me? Yeah. Babe, how am I doing on time, okay? All right, I always feel good. What? 15 minutes. 15 minutes? All right, listen, I told you that the FDA today says that they are concerned about claims. So these are some people that use CBD, but I'm going to tell you how you can share the information using a testimonial so we don't get into problems. These slides that I'm about to share with you are the most important ever. We already know that CBD is growing because of word of mouth.
Right.
I did that. Greg, can you help me? Greg? Sorry.
Millennials.
I touched something.
They're trying to shut you down, Thomas. They're trying to shut you down.
Sorry. I don't know my own power. All right, so while he's pulling that back up, I'll leave him to do that. He knows what to do. All right, awesome. Thank you. You might want to stay close. All right, so here's the deal. This business is growing via word of mouth. We are in network marketing, which by virtue of the name of our industry, we grow things by word of mouth. We also like to talk about celebrities, which is why they have those magazines on the line when you're in the supermarket, right? Forget reading that the Russians are getting ready to blow us up. You stop there and read about who just had a baby and who's having an affair. So now we get to use celebrity status to grow our business. I can't go out there and say that CBD cures fibromyalgia. I can't do it. FDA is going to get you. But what I can say is that Morgan Freeman said that he had fibromyalgia and he treated it with CBD. This is a big deal. Because you're going to have plenty of presentations. Your presentations are going to be recorded. They're going to be on YouTube and Facebook. And everybody who didn't get involved with you is waiting to shut you down. You got more enemies than friends.
That's right.
You got more enemies than family. More enemies than church folk. And everybody who missed the opportunity is now waiting for you to fail. Don't give them the opportunity. Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Morgan Freeman said it helped with his chronic pain. Morgan Freeman said in 2008 he had a life-threatening car accident where he fractured his shoulder, and fibromyalgia is pain. It's a pressure that is so bad physically that it causes you mentally to be uncomfortable. You ever have really bad pain, been walking the hills all day, then you don't want to talk to nobody, leave me alone? And you're not really mad at them, it's just the pressure. Morgan Freeman said, that's how you do that, right? I can't say that CBD cures multiple sclerosis. Are you with me? Can't say it. They'll shut me down. They'll say they kick me out. But I can say Montel Williams said that it helps with his multiple sclerosis. Now, why is it so critical to drop these people's names? Not just because the FDA might shut me down if I don't drop their names, but because these people have millions of dollars. They can afford the best doctors. They can afford the best research. They can afford all of the stuff that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they still choose to get a $69 bottle of CBD. It's a big deal. Whoopi Goldberg said that CBD worked for her glaucoma. Whoopi Goldberg said it works for her cramps. Whoopi Goldberg said it worked when she was having hot flashes. Whoopi Goldberg said. So when you go talk to your grandma about it, Grandma, did you know Whoopi said? Some of y'all follow music, and you watch those platinum records that they drop.
Right.
They said based on the music playing for Friends, the show, she would be considered the third wealthiest songwriter producer in the world for the music from Friends. Isn't that crazy? I don't even remember how that song goes. Obviously somebody knows the song from Friends. Jennifer Aniston says that she uses CBD for pain. She uses CBD for stress. She uses CBD for anxiety. This is a big deal. It's a big deal legally. It's a big deal because people are always ear hustling. It's a big deal because people always want validation. They need to be validated. When you tell somebody help her anxiety, they're going to go tell somebody, they're not going to say Tillman said, they're going to say Jennifer Aniston said. They're not going to drop Tillman's name. They're going to drop her name and start singing the song. Now, you realize I didn't put up a lot of the other names of people that you know are using CBD. Right? I didn't put up Snoop. Right?
Let's go with 2 Chainz. Let's go with 2 Chainz.
You get my point? Now, hang on for a minute. Hang on with me. There's something else you got to remember about CBD. This is a product that we can sell to every age range.
Yeah.
Right? So your grandma will use it for aches and pains. Your mid-level or mid-age people, they'll use it because they drive an Uber and Lyft and they in online school, whatever. They'll use it. You got the younger people that will use it for the energy. They always want that energy stuff. And in certain groups of people, I'll drop Snoop's name. You know what I'm saying? You pick the right reference for the right thing. I promise you this, in the next 5 years, illegal drugs will be a thing of the past. There will be no such thing as an illegal drug. Why? Because they already put heroin in all your medicine. And once people find out that they can get the better feelings in their body from CBD without using marijuana until marijuana becomes legal, people are not going to get it anymore. There's no reason to. Why am I going to risk going to jail or losing my job when all I wanted to do was help fix my back? Right? My boss ain't going to fire me for getting no THC CBD and my back feels better. And if there's no need, it goes away. So all of those people out there who are selling illegal drugs, where are they going to come to make money? Me. So listen to me. While you are turning your back on the hustler on the corner, he'll be the next platinum. He'll be the next diamond. That dude knows how to move stuff through a community by word of mouth. He's never needed the internet. He never needed a street sign. He never needed a tear off.
That's right. Ain't no numbers now.
Do you know in the time period that I did this slide, Walgreens got in, they passed Coca-Cola. What you were looking at is a kernel of popcorn pop at 1,200 frames per second. It is physically impossible for your eye on its own without slow motion photography to be able to distinguish at the exact second that it pops. You can't do it. You can't even do it with a regular camera. You need a super high-speed, high-def 4G or whatever camera in order to be able to catch this. And I worked hard at trying to catch this. I kept watching the video over and over again. I'm waiting, I know it's gonna pop, waiting. And then by the time I saw it, it popped just when I blinked. Whenever I blink, it popped.
I saw that yesterday.
Right now with oxygen and CBD, I'm blinking. I'm afraid to blink. I'm afraid to blink because if I blink, I'll miss the pop. I want to celebrate all of you who took the time to come to Nationals. It was a long trip. It was hard. The plane was expensive. Your spouse or your mate does not understand. Your job does not care.
That's all right.
Your kids could care less. Your credit card maxed out. Your upline is gone.
Right.
Your downline nowhere to be found. It was a big sacrifice to come here. But we are in the middle of the blink. Your situation can change in the blink of an eye. It can change in one season. In one season. Do you know in one season, Esther was a single woman, and the next season she was the queen. In one season, David was out there with the sheep, and the next season he was the king. In one season, he was out there and he was an unknown, and the next season he was on the cross, and the next season he was in heaven. Just one season. You better recognize that we are in a time and a place where things change in one season. There are people who are here today, when you come back to the next Nationals, you won't be an IMR. You won't be an ET. You won't be an ED. You won't be an MD. You won't be an SVP. There are people who are going to come back at the next Nationals platinum. One season. All of these big pharmaceutical companies that have not put one dime into advertising are going to do the work for you. 5 Links doesn't need to run an ad. We don't need a television commercial. We don't need a radio ad. All of those big pharmacy companies are going to do it. CVS is going to do it. Walgreens is going to do it. Walmart will do it. Target will do it. They're all going to do it for us. And then your grandma's going to come back and say, you still got that thing, sugar? They're coming. They're coming. I want to challenge you all to do one thing for me. This will be the easiest thing that you will ever do to build your business. In the Bible, there's a story, and it's in every one of the 4 Gospels. But there's a story where Jesus talks about planting seeds. And he says when you plant the seeds, they fall in different places. Sometimes they fall on rough ground, sometimes it falls on fertile ground, sometimes it starts to grow and it gets snatched away. But the story leans on planting the seed. Do you know that's all we do? We can't make it grow. We can't make people understand. We can't make them join. And some people don't want to understand CBD. They'd rather be hurt. All I'm going to challenge everybody to do here today is to plant the seed. I'm going to tell you how to plant the seed. Fair? What I want you to do is to start texting everybody you know. Tell them that CBD is on the rise. The #1 anti-inflammatory on the planet. And I want to show you how to get your hands on some. CBD, the #1 anti-inflammatory on the planet. Contact me. I want to show you how to get your hands on some. Now, I know half of the people in our families won't know what anti-inflammatory is. But that's part of the reason we're putting it in the text. Tell them to contact you. You want to give them or talk to them about the #1 anti-inflammatory on the planet. I want you to tell them that it is part of a $22 billion industry. It is creating millionaires every day. Oh, it is a long text. You've sent longer ones.
Bam.
Now, when they get back to you, I want you to send them to look at a video. We have played, the company has had one of its strongest months this month. Y'all know that, right? Yeah. Every month is getting stronger. The Platinums are doing live presentations every night. Did y'all know that? Yeah. They're doing live presentations, taking Q&A at CBDwebinar101.com. CBDwebinar101.com. Every night there's a different Platinum on doing a live presentation. Some of you are afraid to give a presentation. You don't want to answer questions. Leverage people. Leverage tools. Right? Send people there. You can send them to YouTube. We all have YouTube presentations. In your app, in your 5 Links app, there are presentations. Use somebody else's presentation. You don't have to memorize the Bible. You're cutting text a verse. Send it out. Same thing. So after you do that, the scripture of Moses. I'll take that. Exodus 30, verses 22 and 23. It says calamus. Calamus is canubis, and canubis is cannabis. Don't get it messed up. So what I want you to do is send a text to 1,000 people a week. 1,000 people a week. How many people?
1,000.
5% will get back to you. 5%. You can send it by text. You can send it by email. You can send it by Facebook inbox. 1,000 people. You can start with your cell phone. You got 2,000 names in your phone? Send it to the people who used to be in your business. Send it to your old upline. Send it to your old downline. Send it to your old sidelines. Send it to the people at your church. So the people at the church, you send a text saying, there's a natural ingredient in the Bible, which is the #1 anti-inflammatory on the planet. I'll give you the Bible verse. Contact me. Be creative. 1,000 people a week. And I promise you, we will come back here and the next Nationals will have more SVPs than ever before across the stage. Let me ask by a show of hands, how many of you are willing to send 1,000 text messages or emails and inboxes a week? I want to challenge you. I'm willing, I'm willing to go 1,000 messages out 4 days a week.
Yes, sir.
That's 4,000 a week for me.
Yes, sir.
When I broke senior vice president, I sent out 14,000 messages in 90 days for 623 people to join this business, and some of them still in the room.
All right.
And I promise you, a lot of people will say no, they will make fun of you, but they'll join later. Any of y'all know Cynthia Brain?
Yeah.
She's the most incredible person that I've ever seen come into this business. And I sent her 10 messages. 9 messages she said no, and on the 10th message she got in, and she proceeded the following summer on 2 different months to put 1,000 people into the business.
Wow.
So as I close, I just want you to know that CBD is popping. CBD is popping. CBD is popping. Oxygen is popping. 5 Links is popping. I am popping. You are popping. We are popping. Let's go, y'all! That's my time. Platinum Senior Vice President Thomas Felder. I look forward to seeing each of you on the beaches of the world and not at the beach, at the bank. But more importantly than any beach or any bank, I look forward to seeing you at the gates of the kingdom. For what would it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? So until I meet you and greet you, walk with the King today, today's presentation is officially over.